I'm here today to talk to you about the first Mercury retrograde of 2026. And it starts on February 25th and goes all the way till March 20th. It's going to be in the sign of Pisces. In fact, every Mercury retrograde this year, there are three, will be in a water sign. So this one will be in Pisces, the next one will be in Cancer, and then we'll have one in Scorpio. So let's talk about this upcoming Mercury retrograde in Pisces, starting on February 25th. So I see the ending of this Mercury retrograde as the most symbolic part of it. So I'm going to talk about why. So this particular Mercury retrograde in Pisces starts on February 25th and ends on the spring equinox, aka the Aries equinox, aka the astrological new year. So that is March 20th. So the sun will go into Aries on March 20th, and then later on that day, Mercury in Pisces will go direct. Now, the symbolism of this is Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac, symbolizing endings, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, symbolizing new beginnings. So I see this, I always see the planets acting out in very intelligent ways. Now, the intelligence of the planets during this Mercury retrograde pretty much is that to have our very active messenger planet Mercury go retrograde in this final sign, bringing us across the threshold to the Aries equinox, to that astrological new year, symbolizes a huge opportunity for us to use this particular Mercury retrograde period to do a final dusting of the path behind us in order to lighten the path before us. So it's kind of like we know that certain parts of our past are over. And this Mercury retrograde is handing us a broom and a dustpan to look at that path and sweep up any remaining dust particles that represent the past, so that when we start on the fresh path at the Aries equinox, when this Mercury retrograde is over, we can then move forward quicker because there's no more energy tying us to the past. Now, don't get me wrong, we've already cleared away a lot of that energy, but this is an opportunity to just go back and see where maybe we missed a spot. And I'm pretty certain that we all have different areas where we missed a spot. And that's the purpose of this particular Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules communication, and the planet itself is not strong in the sign of Pisces. It's in its fall, right? So it's in its fall, meaning Mercury is strong in the sign it rules, Virgo and Gemini. And since Virgo is the opposite or polarity sign of Pisces, it symbolizes Mercury not feeling natural in Pisces because it's furthest from home, right? So Mercury in Pisces can translate as unclear communication, and that's before it's even retrograde. It goes retrograde, and we're left to clean up the messes of our unclear communication. We are forced to surrender to the lack of knowing what's going on or what the future is going to look like. It's a call to slow down and commune more with our higher self or our spiritual guidance for answers than any outside person or information. The Virgo lunar eclipse on March 3rd will be a climax moment for us to realize how much we rely upon the mind and the part of us that likes to analyze everything. This is a call, or this will be a call at the Virgo lunar eclipse to lean into the part of us and trust the part of us that we can't actually analyze, right? So the more we can be open to our own blind spots being revealed to us, the more we can learn to trust the unknown path before us. That's what this is about. The stellium of planets in Pisces, including that Mercury retrograde in Pisces during the lunar eclipse, are wanting us to surrender our attachment to the vision that we have painted for ourselves for the future in order to reveal the truth of what is calling us forward now in real time, right? So Pisces doesn't really represent real time. It represents other time, right? It represents everything outside of this reality. Pisces is not a earthly sign. It's a very spiritual, ethereal sign, right? And so we're being asked to consciously come back to real time and assess. Pisces energy can make us feel like escaping the present moment. And the lunar eclipse will bring the present moment into clear focus, right? Because we'll have that full moon eclipse in Pisces polarity sign of Virgo. So that lunar eclipse will bring the present moment front and center, right? And give us a choice to feel our way through the dark room, right? So Pisces represents the dark room. So we'll be able to feel our way through the dark room into the unknown, or we can fixate on the fact that it's dark, right? So with Mercury in retrograde, we have to become conscious that we aren't meant to see it clearly just yet. And if we can become the witness of ourselves, right, the fly on the wall during this time of feeling lost without judging ourselves or others in the process, we can emerge ready for the fresh start of the astrological new year on March 20th. So, the medicine for any intense journey with a particular planet and sign is to look to the polarity sign for wisdom. This can help us not get lost in any extremes. The extremes of Mercury retrograde in Pisces can look like losing sight of important details, dropping the ball on commitments, miscommunications and misscheduling, believing false narratives, escaping the present moment, not showing up when you wanted to show up, cancellations, not feeling heard or seen. We can look to the strengths of Virgo to help us counterbalance the effects of this Mercury retrograde in Pisces. This can look like reviewing the details of your calendar during the retrograde period with your family, friends, or work team to get on the same page about what is happening in your daily lives. Avoid overcommitting by grounding and centering yourself before saying yes to things and creating deadlines for yourself to work with during this retrograde. Fact check the details of the things you hear. Intentionally coming back into your body and into the present moment to ask yourself what you need that would support you before defaulting to any escapism behaviors. Know that this Mercury retrograde is a call to spend time with yourself and your own muses, aka the parts of you that are wanting to express through some sort of art or creative medium. Double check appointments and send reminders to people about things you want them to show up to. Asking people to repeat back to you what they heard you say and you doing the same for them to avoid having conversations in your imagination. These are all things that can support us during this particular Mercury retrograde. It's going to take a lot of deep breaths, a lot of self-forgiveness, a lot of forgiveness of others, a lot of allowing and just flowing, right? Surrendering to the flow that wants to happen from some sort of place outside of you, right? The flow comes from an intangible place. It's an energetic place, right? So Pisces is a very energetic sign. And so surrendering to the flow can get you exactly where you want to be. And because the sign and the planet is retrograde, we can have a lot of mishaps that show us where we are resisting the flow, where we are too concerned with planning and attachment and details, and maybe too concerned with the body and not as much the spirit or the emotional body, right? And so just allowing yourself to be present and to become more of the observer during all of this can be helpful because, yes, there will be mishaps. There will be miscommunications. There will be confusion, right? And if you can just look at yourself and be like, yeah, you're really confused right now, right? And just observe and state what you see going on, you have more of a chance to course correct, right? Like I said, the timing of this particular retrograde bringing us into what I see as the actual new year, right? We haven't had the actual new year yet, as I see it, because the astrology new year, Aries season, marks the fresh energy. It marks the new beginning. And so if we can use this time period to clean up the messes that we didn't see before, to tend to the areas in our lives where maybe we've neglected things or not actually shown up in the ways we've wanted to, then we can start that new year with that mindset that, oh, okay, yeah, so I forgot all of that stuff, but I'm course correcting now. Or I dropped the ball on that, but I have a fresh start now, right? And so Virgo, the polarity of Pisces, can be really focused on those details and really um, critical, right? At worst, right? Like can be critical. And so if we can steer away from being critical of ourselves, especially come the lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 3rd, and we can just observe, right? And we can just be honest with ourselves without judging ourselves, be honest with others without judging them. I think we can reemerge, right, out of this Mercury retrograde period um, in a healthier place with ourselves and in a more forgiving place with ourselves as well as others. I hope you found this helpful. Please share this video with anyone you feel like might benefit from hearing my words about how to prepare for this upcoming Mercury retrograde. I look forward to being back here soon, talking about some more astrology or soul growth perspectives. And I love you all for being here. Thank you so much.